one goes on the wreck now, and even an hour aboard alone is the stuff nightmares are made of. The Alkimos seems to scream as its rusted metal structure is slowly torn apart by the sea. Many people believe the Alkimos was a cursed ship even before the ghost appeared. The old wreck has an almost incredible history of ill fortune. She was launched in America in 1943, but no company kept her long before selling her off, and her name was changed several times, which is an old seafaring recipe for bad luck. Repairs after constant collisions, breakdowns and groundings had given her an extra 153 millimeters in length by the time she reached Australia, and the Alkimos still seemed bent on her own destruction. She ran aground 250 kilometers north of Perth and later caught fire in the dock. She was ordered to Hong Kong for repairs, but the tow rope snapped and she was driven onto a reef. A second tug which tried to tow her off also caught fire. Then the Alkimos snapped her anchor chain and was permanently grounded. Since then she has caught fire 6 times, and every attempt to salvage her has met with accident, injury, or death. She has been abandoned for the past decade, and those who do venture aboard never forget the experience. One such witness is Ray Krakauer, an Anzac veteran who's now a local justice of the peace.
I was asked to do a bit of looking after it and do a bit of salvage. I spent weeks on it, days on it. I heard talking many times, many times. You hear this guttural talking. Now the wireless cabin was sealed up with a lock on the door. I heard the Morse key sending out a message. You're saying things go on, and here's a locked room with no one in the room, and the Morse key, a hand Morse key, working itself with no power. While working in the number 3 hatch, removing some degaussing apparatus, out of the darkness, an apparition appeared, almost like a fluorescent light. It was the shape of a person. So I picked up a piece of 3x2 and I was going for it. And then the junk that was lying around was in my way, and I thought, well, there's going to be an accident one way or other. So I just turned and went up the ladder. If I say a thing happened, it happened. I'm not going to tell a man who saw somebody walking with their head under their arm in the Tower of London, say he didn't see it. He said he saw it. Okay, he saw it. Now, I know what I saw. I know what I experienced. If I say it, that happened. That's what happened.
One of Western Australia's top skin divers and salvage operators, Jack Sue, has written a book about the shipwreck and firmly believes he too has been touched by the Alkimos curse. Jack swears that while on board, he heard moaning coming from an empty bunk, and his wife was tragically killed in a car accident during the same period.
And after my own personal experience, the loss of my former wife, nobody would ever convince me otherwise than that there is something wrong with that ship.
Did you blame the ship for the death of your wife in any way at all?
Yes, I do. Almost everybody that's been on that ship for any length of time spent or been involved with the ship in business matters, nearly all have had some ill fortune, illness, or tragedy.
People who board the Alkimos seem to step back into the past. In some curious way, she seems to be busy with unfinished business. There are cooking smells coming from her galley, Morse from her radio room, men walking about on her deck, and there's Henry in his yellow oilskins riding out some invisible storm. What a pity that there was nobody there who could understand Morse. Now we'll never know what the content of that message was or the date of the transmission. Alkimos poses us with a problem of deciding when ordinary bad luck turns into something more sinister. To the people trying to dismantle her, Alkimos seems to be fighting back stubbornly, injuring and harming those people that are trying to destroy her. But perhaps we better leave her to become a legend similar to the Flying Dutchman, and instead move from shipwrecks to ship relics housed in a building with a very interesting history.